Hey folks, how's it going? Dr. Spin. In my quest to find my favorite albums from 2021, I've been working through this big system of bracketed eliminations, and I'm going to try to share these out with you guys as I go so you can sort of see my thought processes on it and see if you agree with them or if you don't. I'll put a couple of clips at the end of this video. You listen to both and decide for yourself, and then sound out below to see if you agree or disagree with how this is proceeding, going on, see if I'm on the right track with this stuff. So for today's elimination, I'm going to be looking at Steven Wilson's The Future Bites versus Wobbler's The Dwellers of the Deep. Now, Wobbler's a band that I've followed for a very long time, and they're a good example of what I would call retro prog. And I refer to them as retro prog because they're really trying to mine a specific, not just a style of music, but also the sounds associated with that style. It's not like they're trying to heighten it or make it more than what it is. They're really trying to dig in and make that kind of music. And the kind of music that they're really trying to get at is an aggressive version of Yes. Almost like what if Yes worshipped druids rather than crystals, right? It's a little bit more dark and a little bit more macabre from time to time. But I'll tell you what, there's great music on this. The lead singer sings with a tone that's very similar to John Anderson's, but pitched lower. But he still has that kind of like dry, raspy tone to it. It really sells. Lots of amazing melodic work and amazing musicianship throughout the entire album. And compositionally speaking, it's got a lot of creativity that you just can't, you think you can argue the quality of the work here. But Steven Wilson's The Future Bites, this album is going to be real tough to knock down. You know, Steven Wilson, of course, he is himself a very long-standing progressive rock character. And he's gone back and forth on his own progressive rock identity. So he's at this point now where he's swung back more to a little bit more of a more pop-oriented sound. It's a little bit less classic idea of what progressive rock is. But at its roots, I believe that The Future Bites is still very progressive in the same way that Trevor Horn in the 80s was crossing over between progressive rock and more pop-oriented sounds. I get that a little bit from what Steven Wilson is doing. I know that's his intent to a degree. It's successful that way too, I think. And it's also an amazing overview of Steven Wilson's entire career, because in the beginning, Steven Wilson was a very like almost ambient electronic musician. He did that with the early Porcupine Tree albums, and that raises its head here too a little bit. There's some more like standard ideas of what progressive rock is. Those show their heads here, but really what's the most compelling aspect of The Future Bites is the songwriting. Amazing songwriting. You will walk away singing these songs with a quickness. And also its topicality. You know, the whole idea about this album is to kind of address the current state of affairs in the world and online, the way people treat each other, and virtual presentation of self and all this stuff. So it's a great album that's not only a fantastic example of what Steven Wilson, I think, has been working towards for a very long time, but also very relevant for contemporary listeners. And although many progressive rock fans maybe have given him a hard time about this shift away from more retro styles of performance, I think that what he's doing here is really compelling, and it's one of the best things that I think he's done. So in this particular showdown, I'm going to have to give it to Steven Wilson. Steven Wilson goes on. So agree or disagree, you please let me know. If you want to know more of these videos are happening, please like and subscribe and share them out with your friends. And until then, catch you guys on the flip side.